Welcome friends to part 3 of project a payroll management system using ASP.NET. Till now we have created our dashboard page and we have connected our database with our drop down list and the grid view. So now we'll create the actual final representable payroll. So we have created a button for that. Now we need to generate a payroll whenever we click that button. So for doing that, without writing uh, for doing that we need to write some C# code for generating the payroll. So for that we need to integrate an event with this button whenever we click that. So the easiest way to do that, we go to the design tab here. Let's close this one, it's not needed here. So we get the design tab and you can see the button here. So you just double click on that. So you see a new event has been generated and it's ready to be written. So it's very good thing to work on this ASP.NET. So you can see the source here. A new event on click has already been generated, and on the name you can see unnamed 2.2 underscore click is the name of the function where we will write our code. So save it and let's write the code. So we need to pass some information from this page to the second page. The second page we have not created yet, we'll create it, but let's structure the information first which will be sent from this page. So we will need to send all the information: the employee's name, his basic pay and other allowances. So for doing that we will use the session variable. So first gather the information. So the name would be say a string name, whatever we have selected from the employee. So dot selected item dot text. So here we get our name of the employee. Now we need to get all the information from his salary table. So for that we need to create a database connection. So for doing that we need to import a package system dot data dot SQL client. Now we need to create a connection to the database. So for that we have a class called SQL connection, give it a name one, new SQL connection. So in it you can see we need to pass the connection string. So where can we get our connection string? So let's head back to web.config. You can see your connection string is already here. So just copy and paste it, sorry, in the string quotes. Now we need to open this connection. Sorry. Now we need to fire an SQL query from which we will get our information. So we need to fetch the information from the salary table using the role field of this selected name. So we need to get the role also. So string role equal to emp dot selected value. So it is already a text, so we don't need to do anything. So we'll create a command we'll select everything from our salary table where where the role is this one. So we need to pass this value role here, so we pass it here, and we want to use the connection con with it. Now we need to fetch the result into something, into a C# version of a table, which is called SQL data reader. So I give it a name, result equal to cmd execute reader. So before proceeding, we can see some uh, errors. If you have noticed, you can see this little curly underline here. It says unrecognized escape sequence. As this slash defines our escape sequence, so we need to get rid of that. So easiest thing of doing that is putting an @ in front of it. So the easiest thing to do that is doing a double slash here. So now our string is correct, and let's proceed. So in result variable, all our data from the database is ready. So we'll fetch everything in separate variables. So our basic pay will be a double field, basic equal to. So before getting our result, as you can see, our SQL data reader has the result, but we cannot read it till now because the SQL data reader has a separate pointer for pointing each row. So when it is created, the pointer by default stays in the 0th position. So we need to take it to the first row. For that we need to write read, so it comes to our result now. So now we can fetch this data from result. Either we can write the column number or the column name. So writing the column name is friendly so that we can debug later. So our result is basic pay, but this returns an object. We need to convert it into a double. So for that we need to first represent as a string, then we need to make it make it a double dot parse. Now we got our basic pay as double. So similarly we'll do our other fields. So double da, double dot parse result da dot to string. Similarly, I have HRA, I just copy that. So, and we also have our other allowances. Just make it other. So as you remember, all the allowances are in percentage form. That means we whatever we have till now is the percentage of basic pay we will get as allowance, but what is the actual amount? So we need to calculate that. So for that we need to do double DA. We will calculate, so that I am putting this C here, so it will represent a calculated DA. So for that we need to multiply basic with the percentage of DA. So DA by 100. So like that we have calculated our DA. What is the actual amount of DA? So we'll calculate similar things. Our HRA will be HRA times basic, and our other will be other. So we have all the needed information in us. So we need to create session variables, and we will pass that in the next page. So let's create a session variable. By default in ASP.NET, a session variable is already created. You can see that here. So we just need to import these variables into this variable session collection actually. So the easiest way to do that is representing or thinking it as an array. So we put third bracket here, the array bracket, box bracket. So we put our basic equal to basic. So in the basic variable of session collection, our basic amount is there. So similarly we'll create DA, which will be our calculated DA. Similarly our HRA will be our calculated HRA, and other will be our calculated other. And apart from that we need to also pass the name and role. So for that we'll say name equal to the name and role equal to role. So we have created the session variables. Now whenever I send the control to another page, the session variable is not destroyed until I give it a session timeout. Means if I become idle for let's say 5 minutes without doing anything in the web page, the session gets deleted and we won't get these variables then. So we create our next page, that is the final payroll page. So add web form, let's name it payroll. So similarly we will give our name payroll generate page, and we will give our bootstrap theme, bootstrap CSS here. So we will create a similar structure here, breadcrumb. First we need to create a container, then we will create a breadcrumb. Then in the heading we will give the name of the employee. So we'll say payroll for the employee name. We will put the employee name here. So how to put that from the session variable? So for that we need to use the shorthand of ASP, this one. In this you can write any variable which is available to us. So for that we will get session name. Okay. Oh, sorry. I can write this like that, or I can get it to string. Let's just put it like this. So payroll for Akash Bimal, that will be written here. So next, outside the breadcrumb, we'll give all the details. So let's just put it a simple div. First we will give today's date. So how to do that? We'll give a, let's say, label. Inside that we will use, so date time is a structure, and date time dot today, writing only today will give you today's date. Also you can similarly use time also. So let's put it that way and go to the next line. So we'll write what is the post, what is the role of the employee. So we'll create a header 3. So we'll give role, and inside bold we'll write what is the role. Then we will write all the informations. So for that we can create a table like structure of Bootstrap. So let's create a row. Now let's create a column for, as you know, the total row width is of 12 units. So as we need two columns here, so we will divide the two columns in equal parts, or we can do unequal parts also. So for simplicity I will take equal parts. So call LG6 represents a 6 unit width. So here we'll put basic pay, and in the right side of the row we'll put our next column, which is similar of the previous one. So here we'll write the actual amount. Basic. Did I take basic or basic pay? Let me just go to that. Basic only. Okay. So basic. So our one row is created, and all the other information will come similarly in the. So this one is for DA, HRA, and other allowance. Just let me change the names. DA and our DA. This is our HRA, and say other allowances. And we need to show a subtotal. So for that we can see, you can put a divider thing here with this HR tag, and after that gross salary. So for that we need to add everything on the session variable. Now we cannot just put plus session HRA session basic, because if you observe, it returns an object, and we cannot put arithmetic operations into an object. So we need to put it into a double variable. So for that we need to put double dot parse session basic. dot to string. So this is our basic. So with this we will add other components. So we'll just copy. This will be for DA, for HRA, for others. So for basic, for DA, for HRA, for other. So I hope everything I did alright. So let's just check it out. So we'll run our project from the dashboard page, because if we don't generate the session variables, we will not get this information. So let's go to dashboard page. So you can see our payroll page, and let's say I want to generate his payroll. So click on generate payroll. Okay, so this button doesn't take us anywhere. Now we did everything right? But only thing we didn't do is we didn't tell him to go to that page. Silly, right? So we need to put it here, response dot redirect, and the page name. What is the page name? Is payroll.spx. As the payroll page is in the similar level of the project structure, you can see the dashboard and payroll are in the similar level of payroll. So we can just write payroll, or otherwise we need to put some folder paths here. So we have corrected our project. Let's do it. So I want to generate his payroll. Now you can see everything is generated here. It's giving a false a default time, whatever, don't mind. The date is still correct. So payroll for Kamal, you can see the name is generated here. You can see everything calculated and the gross salary, and also you can see the divider here. So we can finish this project here, but I also want to save this as a PDF, and I don't want to just press Ctrl S and save it as PDF. I want to give the control to the web page itself. So how to do that? It's just a little JavaScript work. So for that we can create a script. Sorry, text JavaScript, and say window.print. So let's refresh our page, and you can see as I refreshed my page, it already shows us printing information, but we want a button for that. For that we need to create a button, just a normal button, not an ASP.NET button. So we'll give title print, and on click I will create a function here. So this will say my print, so that it doesn't conflict with the actual print. So I'll just call my function, that is my print. Let's check it, and we get a button here, print. As I click this button, you can get the prompt for printing. You can put your printer here, or you can directly save it to PDF. So that's all for this project of payroll management system. I hope this tutorial is useful and a straightforward real life project, though it is pretty basic, and also you can put your own designs here. You can fill all other information, like you can put the employer's address, phone number, and also calculate what is the tax after his um, salary and deduct that from that. You can put very many modifications into that. So I have showed a pretty basic example of a real life project. Hope this tutorial is useful to you, and if you like this tutorial, please thumbs up my video and also subscribe to my channel, and I will post a new type of project in new technologies every week. So thank you guys, see you later.